Everybody, welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. I am here with my special guest, Elite 2027 Edge Rush Recruit out of Grayson High School, Georgia, Mr. TK Cunningham. Welcome to the show, TK. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, man. Just good to talk to you a little bit, man. Start with the obvious. 47 Division I offers. You're an All-American. MVP at the Rivals 5-star camp just this past month. And how does it kind of feel to have all eyes on you right now?
It's been great. I'm just taking everything one step at a time. Keeping the main thing the main thing. I've just been focusing on getting better this summer, to be honest. But it's been great having all this attention.
Yeah, so for folks who haven't really seen your film, what kind of player is TK Cunningham between the whistles? You know, what separates you, do you feel like, from other elite pass rushers in your class?
Honestly, I think the thing that I really have the best, I think my best attribute is my get off, to be honest. I think I can just get off the ball faster. The main thing I want to keep working on this summer is my motor. Uh, just making sure, quarterback roll out of pocket, so I can go chase that down, make the play from the backside, something like that.
There you
But
go.
my main thing that I'm thinking, my best thing is my get off, but the thing I focus on the most is my motor. So
Man, that's awesome, man. And what kind of work are you put? I mean, obviously putting in that work. You've been every time I talked to you in the past couple of weeks, you're just hard at it, training, doing that kind of stuff. What's your biggest what are your biggest drills that you think is that you're working at to get to get better with everything you do?
Oh yeah. I mean, every day you gotta lift. Like I just got back from my lift right before I came here. But the main thing I've been trying to work on is just like conditioning cardio. Making sure like I can go about 70 snaps a game without getting tired, not needing a break, nothing like that. Most defensive ends, they're not gonna be able to go the whole game without catching a break. So if I can do that
Right.
and I can be able to still make plays down on the backside, chase the quarterback down, make those high motor plays, I think it would be something that really adds to my game.
Well, obviously you've been pretty dominant at camps lately. So especially at that Rivals 5-star, you had an MVP performance, got the gold ball. What clicked that day for you in Atlanta at the camp?
Nothing really. Just to be honest, like it's always the same thing whenever I go out to a camp. I just got to go out with the mentality that I'm the best person there, and I got to show people I'm the best. So that's what I did. I just went out there. I just stuck to the basics. I didn't try to do nothing too fancy. Just did what I'm best at, and I had a good performance.
Yeah, and you've got offers from all over the country. You know, but SEC is really coming hard at you, right? So Florida, LSU, South Carolina, Missouri, Auburn. You've got one from Oklahoma, even Oklahoma. You know, so which schools are probably building the strongest relationships with you right now? I know when you start talking about recruiting, relationships are important, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Which ones do you think have built some of the best relationships with you? Some of the guys that you click with the best?
Oklahoma for sure. They started with my brother back when he was in high school doing the recruiting, so I've known them for a while. But since he left and I've been able to do my own recruitment and get to build my own relationships, Oklahoma's been there. They've been a strong factor in my recruitment. I hope that they can stay like that. But yeah, Oklahoma's definitely a big one. Florida as well. I'm just
Florida.
now starting with them in my recruitment. Uh, I really like the staff down there. I got a couple of my guys I play with down there. So, it's great to have that relationship down in Florida. Missouri,
Yeah.
South Carolina, LSU, they're all top contenders as well. I'm still trying to build that relationship with them. Definitely want to check out the program, the vibe, and the feel over there. But yeah, those are definitely some top contenders in my race.
Yeah. So you said obviously there's a difference though between the schools that are kind of recruiting you and the schools that are really kind of making an impact on you. You talked about Oklahoma and Florida first and foremost. What are some of the things that you like about? I mean, is it Coach Chavis? Is it Coach Bates? As far as Oklahoma's concerned, is there's a kind of a combination of them? Is it what is it that
Yeah,
you?
it's definitely a combination of both. Coach Bates, he's more kind of the recruiter.
Yeah,
Visiting school and stuff like that. But uh, it's definitely something that it's not something I'm getting everywhere else. To be honest,
yeah.
I feel like they really want me to make sure that I know that I'm wanted down at Oklahoma. It's a family down there, and I'm gonna be welcome down there anytime. So
Yeah.
I'm not getting that from every other school. So to get that, it's something special. That's how I know I got to go somewhere.
There you go. There you
I'm
go.
not too much into trying to keep up with everyone who's committing to all these schools, but when I got to go down there to camp, I got to hang out with a couple of the guys on the D line, David Stone and Jaden Jackson.
Yeah, they went to
They just
IMG.
got to,
Yeah.
yeah, they got to show me around. They got to, show me what it's like down there, being a player down there, and it's definitely something I could see myself being part of. Like the whole culture, the atmosphere, everything about Oklahoma, I love it,
That's awesome, man.
especially in that D line room.
I love to hear it, man. That's good to hear, man. And Coach Chavis is a trip, isn't he? Coach Chavis is
Most
wild.
definitely, that's my guy.
Yeah, I like Coach Chavis, man. He's always turned on. Always turned
Yeah, he's
on.
got the energy.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so and obviously, talking a little bit about that, when you picture a future home, how important is that for you? Not just the relationships, but obviously scheme fit is it playing time? Is it NIL potential? What is the most important thing for you on choosing a school? What do you think it's going to end up being?
Definitely got to be relationships. I mean, you can go somewhere, but if you don't got a relationship with the coaching staff, it can be something totally different once you finally get there.
Yeah,
So for me, and it's always just been about building relationships, trying to see who's genuine and who's really got a pitch that's actually making sense to me.
that's awesome, man. Well, heck, that's awesome. So we'll kind of go into some other stuff. Let's just kind of talk about your personality a little bit, and just kind of if football was to, I know you're doing really good in school. Your pops was telling me all about that and stuff. It's not just on the football field. You're working in the class as well. But if football were to end for you tomorrow, what would you be chasing after instead? What would you be chasing in life? What are your other goals?
I mean, to be honest, it's always been football for me. So if I couldn't go into coaching or something like that, then honestly, it'd probably be something like real estate.
Okay,
Uh, I
but you
really
want to be a
actually
coach
dig.
if you're not playing, you want to go into coaching then.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, okay. Who do you think the best pass rusher in college football is right now?
Right now, mm, Dylan Stewart, yeah, he raw.
There you go, Dylan Stewart. All right, out of South
Dylan
Carolina,
Stewart
he
is
is a
raw.
stud, man.
Yeah,
Dude's a stud, no
yeah,
doubt.
he's raw.
He ate last year.
Getting slept on though, Ruben Bang.
Ruben Bain down at
Yeah,
Miami, right? Yeah,
yep.
yeah, man. I don't know how much they're sleeping on him. I was looking at some stuff on PFF that they love him, so it looks like
Okay.
he's finally starting to get
Yeah,
his
get his
public. They were a
respect.
lot better. Yeah. What SEC stadium do you dream about playing in?
Okay, that's a hard one. That's probably got to be Bryant Denny or either LSU.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
down at Death Valley at LSU. Wild down
yeah.
there,
I
yeah.
went to a game down there one time, and it was the Vanderbilt game actually.
Uh-huh.
They were Everyone was telling me that even though that was supposedly one of the lowest games, they didn't have that much energy. It was crazy down there.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
exactly.
They wild out down there, man.
Yeah,
And was it a night game?
yeah. It was a night game too.
Oh yeah, so it was really on. And it gets like that at Bryant Denny too, huh? It gets like that at Bryant Denny.
Oh, I haven't been to a Bama game yet, but I definitely gotta check one out.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have to go check that one out whenever they play Oklahoma this year. Because it'll be at Oklahoma, it'll
Yes,
be at
sir.
Bryant Denny. So you ought to go check that one out. That'd
Oh
be
yeah.
awesome. For real. All right. So let's see. So one artist that you have on repeat before the game. Who you got in your earphones, man, before the games?
I probably say NBA young boy.
Okay.
Like, he just bring that energy. I like that before a game.
Get you hyped up before the game a little bit.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
you got to have the right jam to get hyped, right? That's
Yes,
where I'm
sir.
always at. All right, all right. So, do you have a favorite sack celebration? Do you do one, or do you have one that you like to watch somebody else do?
Nah, I don't really get too much into celebrations. Whatever just happens in the moment. Well, that's what I'm just feeling. That's what I do.
There you go. Okay, okay. Who is your biggest influence right now, on or off the field? That kind of helped guide you through the sport. I know you had an older brother that kind of went through this as well. Who's your biggest influence though?
Honestly, my biggest influence, I just say people around me. Like you said, my brother. he already went through this. He's seen the ups and downs. So I just try to take pieces from that
Yeah.
and try to either do it better or do it, just as good.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Um, and do you think about kind of being one of the faces of whatever program you choose? Because it feels like, the type of player that you are, chances are you are going to be one of the faces of the program. The responsibility that comes with that, or do you think about what that'll entail?
Most definitely. Like to be able to go somewhere, that's cool, but to be able to go somewhere and make a legacy, that's different. So if
Mhm.
I was to be able to go to any program and just leave a legacy there that players talk about in the future or after I go, that's something crazy.
Man, that's true. That's true. It's that's an awesome thing to do, especially with the kind of schools that are recruiting you as well. Um,
Exactly.
so I guess if there was something that people probably don't know about you that you think might surprise them, what's something that you like to do in your off time? What's something else that you think may be a surprise to some other people?
Hmm. To be honest, I mean, I don't know if it would be too much of a surprise, but I like to cook a little bit, you know.
All right.
I like to make some dishes in the kitchen. I especially like making pastas and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
You like making pasta and stuff. So do you make your own pasta? Like you make it from scratch, or do you really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's pretty solid, man. Most people just get it in the box and throw it in the water.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys go to college too, and they be having like cooking courses. They don't even know how to make some stuff for themselves. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you've been you like to cook for your family and stuff like that too? Is that something you enjoy?
yeah. Sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, I just make something for everyone.
I like it.
I mostly just like to make like meal prepping dishes, stuff like that.
Okay. So you get yeah, the meal prep is important, right? But that's awesome, dude.
Yes,
I
sir.
like it. I like it. No doubt. No doubt. So you've also got offers from Ohio State, Michigan. You were MVP at the Michigan camp, is what your dad was telling me. LSU, some of these other ones. How important do you feel like it is? I mean, obviously, those are the two biggest conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC. Have you decided that you're probably going to, do you feel like you want to play for sure in one of those two conferences, or is there one that you want to play in over the other?
I mean, just growing up in the South, like it's always been everyone's dream to play in the SEC. But eventually you got to realize wherever you want it the most, wherever you got to be, that's just where you got to be. So
Right,
if it could be ACC, Big 12, wherever, just,
right.
wherever it
Okay.
is, that's where I'm going.
Yeah. And have you talked to Coach Venables much, or have you gotten the chance to talk to him when you were at the camp? Did you get a chance to talk to him too? He's always turned up on that electricity too, huh?
Yeah, I got to speak to him very briefly, but it was a good conversation though. I really got to learn a little bit about him, see who he is. I like him.
Yeah, Coach V's a trip, man, and tell you, his those defenses have been unbelievable. I feel like may have the best defense in the SEC this year. Obviously you
No,
got to put it on the field.
they had a whole slideshow presentation about that Venables defense, and the facts don't lie, the numbers don't lie.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They
Yeah,
put those dudes in the NFL too, man.
yeah.
Put them in the NFL. That's good stuff. Well, what stood out to you about Norman? What stood out? I mean, you obviously it's a college town and everything like that. But what stood out to you about Norman, Oklahoma, man?
It's not really too much. You can go somewhere like a place like Florida, some place like Texas or something. You have a big city, have a lot of distractions around you, but Norman is just enough. It's enough to not to be bored while you're down there, but
Yeah,
there's no distractions and nothing too much that's gonna take the main thing away from you.
right. Did whenever you went to the stadium, did you get standing in front of all like what surprised you about the way they had things set up, all the trophies, the Heisman's? What did it's a little different there, right?
Yeah, so the stadium, it was a lot bigger than I thought it actually was. I seen some pictures online and then I actually went there to see it in person. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I was shocked. I was shocked to see it in person. But honestly, if you just go down there and you see the facilities or something like that, I'm not gonna lie, they were off the chain. They were crazy.
Yeah.
I definitely would try to like to get back down to Oklahoma, but you know, just a little harder with the schools that are farther away. You know.
Any other camps or anything like that that you got coming up?
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get down to Bama. I'm trying to probably do that around like next weekend.
Okay.
Uh, Trying to get down to Ole Miss camp, and then
Oh yeah.
I'm going to that Florida. It's a Florida barbecue, so yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. You know, it feels like you're going to be one of those, you know, the elite athletes in your class, man. I appreciate you coming
Thank
on
you.
the show and getting an opportunity to get to kind of chop it up with you a little bit, man. And you're welcome to come back on anytime you like.
Most definitely, I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, man, have a good one. Okay.
Yes, sir. You too.